Charlottesville, Virginia, where the Cavaliers had great hopes as the Florida State Seminoles come into Charlottesville to play them today. And what a performance by Virginia. 56-36, they win by 20. They hold the Seminoles to about 38% shooting the entire game. How about the start by the Wahoos shooting beyond New York? They hit 7 of 9 in the first half, Dan.
Tim, it was very interesting. Virginia came out and shot the ball very well, which is something we thought they had to do. And even though their shooting tailed off as the game went on, their defense was absolutely outstanding. They did not let Florida State get the ball to the basket very often, but they also held Florida State to 1 for 15 from beyond the three-point arc. Just an outstanding all-around performance by Virginia.
Joe Harris was the leading scorer today, 17 points. That's not a surprise. He got a lot of support around him, though.
Yeah, he did. They had guys like Justin Anderson come off the bench and score well. We talked early in the game about Paul Jesperson. He made a couple of threes early, finished with 8 points. Jontel Evans did a really nice job getting the ball where it needed to go to the guy who needed to have it at the right time. The Virginia offense looked like it was much more in sync than we've seen in the last couple of games.
Well, let's take a look at what you're talking about, because they were in sync right from the beginning and got out to a very, very quick start.
When you shoot the ball, Tim, when the ball goes in the basket, the game suddenly gets an awful lot easier. And the Cavaliers came out and they hit three-point baskets. Joe Harris knocked down a couple in the first half, as we mentioned. Jesperson knocked down a couple in the first half. And Akil Mitchell played very well on the inside, going up against the 7-footer Bojanowski. And Mitchell, that time, off the penetration by Jontel Evans. And as we said, Jontel Evans, I thought, was a key component in this game because of that penetration and the ability to break down the defense.
Cavaliers led 33-15 at the half. We wanted to know if they could hold on to that in the second half, but it was just turnover after turnover in this ball game for Florida State.
Florida State really did struggle with the turnovers, Tim. When you go on the road and you score 16 field goals and turn it over 18 times, it's going to be very difficult to win basketball games. The Cavaliers forced 12 of those turnovers in the first half, 6 in the second half, and when you turn it over that much, you're just not going to get in much of a flow offensively, and they weren't able to get in a flow offensively.
Well, as you mentioned, they were red hot beyond the arc, also performed well at the line, the free throw line, and it was a team that really had a lot of assists today. They beat Florida State both in assists and on the boards.
Well, the key for Florida State there is they were only 1 for 15 from beyond the three-point arc. And you're just, again, when you turn it over 18 times and you're 1 for 15 from beyond the arc and you're playing on the road, you just have no chance at all. And unfortunately, that's what happened to the Seminoles today.
It was unbelievable when you watched how hot Virginia was from beyond the arc in the first half. They didn't even need that in the second half because then they banged inside, got second chance points. There was a moment in this ball game, folks, that was a very, very scary moment. Terrence Shannon of Florida State, he got injured here, and he put his head up against a hip, and it just got turned a funny way. You'll see it happen right here as he comes down there fighting for the ball, and bam, all of a sudden, he went to the floor, and he was down for a good 10 minutes.
And you could see his head sort of snap to the side there a little bit, and he just went down, and I'm not even sure at that point if he was conscious. And we don't know what happened. The only thing that we were told after he was down for a long time is that they've taken him to the University of Virginia Medical Center. And as you mentioned during the game, that's a pretty good place to go if you need some medical attention. And so our hopes and our prayers are with Terrence Shannon, and we certainly hope that that works out okay.
And we can tell you that both staffs, the Virginia medical staff and the Florida State medical staff, got to him right away. The EMTs got to him right away. They solidified him. They held him motionless. They strapped him to the board. They got him out of here, and as Dan says, they got him to the medical center. So that's the story from Charlottesville, Virginia. It's a big win for the Cavaliers. They win it 56-36 against Florida State.